In early days, India was producing nearly 75-80,000 tons of pepper. Russia was our main market. Where today our price is $6,000 in the world market, whereas you can buy at $3,500 from Vietnam.
Tracing Indian spice trade through Kerala's Mattancherry. The lure of Indian spices changed the course of world history. Welcome to Matancheri, just 10 kilometers from Kerala's Ernakulam. The hegemony of Arabs as spice kings was challenged when Portuguese trader Vasco da Gama discovered India's Malabar coast in 1498. This historic revelation paved the way for the establishment of a vital sea route, transforming Kerala into the epicenter of global spice trade.
The world's first, or rather only, pepper exchange established in 1961 here in Jewtown in Matancheri. So back in the day, when a trade deal had to be struck, the two men would signal with their fingers and a cloth would be placed over it.
Over the years, Matancheri emerged as a vibrant melting pot of diverse cultures.
Ideas of cuisines and cultures were exchanged on a global scale here in this small town of Mattancheri. The international yearning for Asian spices transformed the image and economy of the country. Now, Matancheri also has a number of influences from Dutch, Portuguese, African and Arabic cultures. While this town is way past its heydays as the busiest spice market in Asia and even the world, it still holds the pride of being an important center for spice trade and practices in the world.
For generations, spice farming has been a cornerstone of Kerala's local economy.
This was the 1900s. Gujaratis were on the lookout for a joli, and that's when the then Maharaja invited them to set up shop here. Now, being good at businesses traditionally and also having great relations with the British, this generation of fathers and grandfathers was successful and ended up being stalwarts of the spice trade.
In early days, India was producing nearly 75-80,000 tons of pepper. Russia was our main market because of the bilateral trade with USSR. That time the exports were booming, and at times when internationally India was competitive, USA also used to buy good quantity of pepper from India. In early 60s, it is told that Dhirubhai Ambani also used to visit Cochin to buy turmeric and ginger for Aden.
This flourishing trade began losing its sheen in the 90s. Several businesses went bankrupt and some even moved back to their home states after so many generations. Now, as the trade began diversifying to the neighboring states and districts, several decided to convert their spice stores into antique shops to cater to the tourism crowd.
Pepper used to be called as king of spices, and it was the highest earner in the spice industry. That status has gone.
Even today, India is the largest producer, consumer and exporter of spices, contributing to 40% of the trade. But experts believe the Indian market is losing its sheen globally.
In the last decade, there have been several factors that have affected India's prime position, such as fluctuating international demand, growing competition from Southeast Asian markets, and internal policies.
Who will buy at $6,000 when Vietnam is giving you at $3,500?
So exports from India has come down drastically. The Indian traders are mostly dependent on the domestic business. Karnataka, even Tamil Nadu is producing in a good quantity. So the business here has generally come down mainly because of Vietnam and Brazil, the labor issue.
India produces 75 of the 109 varieties of spices, of which 80% is for domestic use and 15 to 20% is exported.
Our domestic consumption went up very rapidly. Those days you may find about 25 trolleys or 30 trolleys. Today you can see 500 trolleys. Over 143 crore people decide to have half teaspoon of pepper. We may have to have 2 lakh tons of pepper needed in India.
In 2021, production fell by 13%. Experts see potential in export-friendly policies, storage facilities for farmers, and regional strategies to boost the spice trade.